What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode number 193, and this is the Week 12 review. Tonight, we're going to be talking for the third time because internet is just the most fun thing in the world when you
Yay,
don't have it.
technology.
Technology has been a very big bugaboo to us this week. However, we're going to try to gut through this one and get it over with as we discuss Jason Ashby from Denver, Colorado. Thank you once again for being with me and dealing with these incredibly bad internet issues.
You know what? Let's blame it on the Mets struggles. Because like the Mets are struggling and the internet is struggling. I think there's a correlation there.
Mm-hmm. It
Yeah,
might be. It might be. We certainly saw a terrible win for the Atlanta Braves tonight. They have won both of the games in this series so far, and a three-game sweep earlier last week.
yep.
So we're not
Not
feeling
good.
too great right now about our New York Metsies. But
No.
let's dive into this thing. Let's talk about your matchup with Ben for the third time and get this thing over with.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, the outcome is not changing. So this is
No, it's not.
definitely adding injury to injury.
No doubt. There's 11-7 going in, 14-4 coming out. Jason, you actually did get home runs by a pitcher tied up because Ben gave up too many, but he flipped triples. He flipped, or no, he tied triples, flipped on base percentage and saves, and untied the relief appearances. Again,
Yeah,
17.
it was Josh Hader gave him the save that flipped that category, but he also gave up a home run, which tied that category. He also got a triple to tie that category on Sunday. And while the Mets are getting blown out by the Phillies, Brandon Nimmo was like, "Nah, I still get two hits, so we can flip on base percentage."
Yeah, everything broke right for Benji this week, and he gets a 14-4
Yep.
drubbing of you. Close categories this week. Ben wins by 3 runs, 2 RBIs, 6 strikeouts, 3 ticks on the on base percentage, a win, 2 losses, a save, and a relief appearance. You won by 5 walks.
Yay
Yay!
for me!
You guys tied in triples, steals, and home runs given up by a pitcher. For Ben on his bench this week, he goes 6 for 27. That's a 222 batting average. It is 2 runs, an RBI, a stolen base that would have won the category, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. The stolen base comes from Jake Cronenworth on Tuesday. He's not playing him over Carlos Santana, so there you go.
Yeah, we talked about that, and he was banging his head about it, but ultimately it didn't matter. We tied it in the end anyway, so it's just a great week from him.
Yeah, no doubt. 6 ads this week. Ian Hamilton for a clean 2-inning relief appearance. Joe Ross for a bad relief appearance. Jake Cronenworth that we just discussed. Ryan Brazier for a clean relief appearance. Jacob Webb and Tim Herron. His MVP this week is Byron Buxton because he hit a whole bunch of solo home runs this week.
Yeah, he hit 2 more on Sunday, and I texted Ben. I was like, "Enough with Byron Buxton. I get it. He hits home runs. Stop."
Yeah. 391 with a 481, 7 runs, a double, 6 homers, 6 RBIs, a steal, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. 6 solo home runs because the Twins can't get anybody on base in front of him. What a
No,
mess.
he's the only one doing anything.
Yeah. The least valuable hitter goes to Alex Verdugo, who had 2 1-for-4s in the 2 appearances. Ben had him in the lineup. So it's a 250 with a 250, a run, and an RBI. Max Kepler hit a home run but hit 130. Carlos Santana stole 2 bases but hit 100. So
Yeah, he doubled his stolen base for the season in 1 week. Like,
yeah,
come on. But like, yeah, everybody did something in this. Brandon Nimmo was great. Arenado was great. Arias, Javi Baez, like everybody did something.
mm-hmm.
Will Smith.
Will Smith. It was a very team oriented win this week. He hit 290 with a 347 on base percentage. Like everybody hit.
Yeah, there was no chance.
No. His Cy Young this week goes to the 3-headed monster of Ranger Suarez, Christopher Sanchez, and Clark Schmidt. All 3 of them had 7 or more innings pitched. Christopher Sanchez, 8 innings for the win, 4 strikeouts, a 1.13 and an 0.63. This was a pretty formidable group to go against.
Yeah, and it's all he needed was those 3 guys and those three starts, and that was it. And my pitchers were kind of shitty, but even if they were less shitty, like there's no way to defend against that.
Mhm. The Cy Young goes to Kyle Finnegan, who has been good all season but was bad this week. Two and a third, a loss, two bombs, a strikeout in 11:57, a 129, and two relief appearances. He also did want me to remind you that your birthday present was playing Sharn Armstrong on Tuesday. He went
Yes.
3 innings and a loss, a six and an 0.67 across two relief appearances.
Yes, we did discuss that. The questionable start as an opener on the Thursday. It was Thursday. It was an opener. He was an opener. Took the
Mhm.
loss after 1 inning because the Rangers couldn't score against the Royals.
Right. It was a great week for him, though. Great week to get right and gain ground on some of the other teams here that are chasing him. So,
Yeah, yeah. It's getting to that point where this is Ben's world.
mhm. Jason, for you on the bench this week, you went 10 for 33. That's a 303 batting average. Three runs, a double, a steal, four walks, five strikeouts, and an error. The only thing that plays is a steal here. And it was Jackson Holiday on Friday. He went 3 for 4 and stole a base, but he was a late addition to the lineup.
He was, yeah. He was originally out of the lineup, and then they scratched Adley at Richmond. And then he went on the IL, so Holiday came in, but by then it was too late to do anything about it. So, but each of us benched a steal, and we tied in steals. So if we had both started those steals, we'd have been tied anyway. So
There you go.
there you go.
It was meant to be. You guys were meant to tie in the stolen base category.
Exactly.
10 moves this week for you. Yenier Cano off of waivers, horrible relief appearance, and a trip to the minor leagues. Thanks for that.
Bye.
Zach Littell, 6 innings, a loss, a homer, a 450, and a 117 against the Baltimore Orioles. Tyler Freeman, 1 for 4 with a run and a steal. Sir Anthony Dominguez for a clean relief appearance. Wensiel Perez, 0 for 6 with four strikeouts and two walks in a doubleheader. Mess.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. Jonathan India, 1 for 5 with a run, an RBI, and a strikeout. Luke Raley off the IL and a 3 for 4 with two RBIs and a run. Michael Kopech off of waivers for a clean relief appearance. Jack Caglione, 1 for 4 with a double and a strikeout. And Tyler Freeman back on the roster, 1 for 4 with another stolen base. Way to get that guy when he steals two bases.
Yeah, I wanted him to steal one more. I picked him up strictly because I knew he was going to steal the base. I just felt that he was going to steal the base, and I saw it, and I was like, okay, one more. Just give me one more, but he couldn't do it.
Nah. Your MVP this week is Ketel Marte. He hit 458 with a 500 on base, 8 runs, 5 doubles, a homer, 7 RBIs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. You lost Corbin Carroll this week, my friend, and if there's anybody who could pick up the slack from losing that guy, it is Ketel Marte.
Yeah, not having Corbin Carroll play in the Coors Field series was a bummer, a real letdown. Especially because they kept hinting that he was going to come back. That he was fine. It was just a bruise, and then all of a sudden he has a fractured wrist, and it's going to be out till at least the All-Star break. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Ketel Marte is going to carry this team. He's already homered both nights this week. So I'm just going to keep on riding this guy as long as I can.
Yeah, no doubt. Jackson Holiday is the least valuable hitter this week. 143 with a 217, a run, an RBI, two walks, six strikeouts, and an error. Shout out to Wilson Contreras, who hit 105, but did hit a bomb and drive in five for you.
Yeah, and everybody committed an error on this team.
Pretty much. You had 9 of them.
9. Yeah, it was just awful.
Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Will Warren, question mark, after his 12 and a third, a loss, 17 strikeouts, a 365, and a 114 with two walks. Not a bad appearance across two starts,
Yeah, it's
but I
just
think you would want more out of this.
yeah. I mean, look, the start against the Angels was during this like power outage for the Yankees where they weren't scoring anything, so
Mm-hmm.
they got shut out by the Angels. But he pitched well, and he pitched well against the Orioles too, and he just didn't get the win. But there were two good starts. There's just I would like to see like a win would have been nice.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Walker Bueller has not been nice to you, and I think you've sworn off of him forever now. 3 and a third, a loss, a homer, four walks, two strikeouts, a 2160, and a 360. Ew.
Yeah, yeah, and he's been just absolute dog shit. He got beat up by the Angels last night. And I remember I had this guy like right before he went for his Tommy John surgery with the Dodgers, and I was like, he was a high draft pick for me, or I believe, and I lost him for half the season. So I think it's meant to be that I should just stay away from Walker Bueller.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. I mean, the Red Sox I don't even know if the Red Sox are going to commit to him any further.
I mean, I wouldn't.
No. Jason, you're in a part of the schedule that is very, very interesting. It's the tail end of that gauntlet, and now you're facing off with uh, who are you facing off with this week? You've
I got
got
Bobby.
Bobby and Lebo,
Yeah,
and you're
before the
repeating the gauntlet.
yeah. So Bobby Lebo and then the Habers.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm really hoping to pull a rabbit out of my hat against Bobby this week and get myself right. If I can do that, I at least feel a little bit better going into the next three matchups. And then it doesn't get any easier after the Habers with Frank and Jimmy and Cody than you. So it's gonna be a tough sledding to the end of the year. So I'm gonna have to keep fighting.
Hey, this is the part where the rubber meets the road, man. You're gonna have to get this thing in gear.
Yep.
Unfortunately, you're gonna have to do it without your first round pick in Corbin Carroll for at least probably a month, but we shall see. I really
Yeah.
hope the best for you, man.
Yeah, and when guys come back from fractured wrists, you never know what's gonna happen. So we'll
Exactly.
see.
We'll see. As for Benji, he's in the soft spot of this schedule, man. He's got Ari, and then he's got Levy, and then he's got Costas, and then he's got Bobby.
Yeah.
So that's three of the bottom teams right now in the next 3 weeks, and then Bobby Russo, who's been floundering a bit this year.
Yeah, he's not, I wouldn't call him a bottom team, but he's definitely not as strong as he has been. And look, Ben's doing this shorthanded.
Yeah, 24 guys on the roster right now. He's holding on to two injured guys. He's doing it without his first round pick in Bryce Harper, and he's doing it with the number one waiver claim. So all of that is
Yeah.
in his
Yeah.
favor right now.
And he'll probably get Harper back by the time he gets through, Ari and Levy and Casas. So when he gets into the tougher part of the schedule, he'll have Harper back.
Mm-hmm.
This is Ben's world.
It's Ben's world right now, and I think he's about to lock up a playoff spot. The question is whether or not he's going to get the bye,
Right.
and that'll be whether how well he does against the teams after this little soft spot.
Yep. Yep.
All right, man. Let's hope the internet holds up, and let's move on to the next matchup here. Let's move
Let's
on to
do that.
Josh and Adam. Looks like Josh got himself a 10 victory this week. It was 9-9 going in. Adam tied walks, but Josh untied losses when Adam took one, and Josh flipped whip. So again, 9-9 going in, 10-8 coming out. For Josh, close categories this week, he wins by 3 runs, 3 doubles, a loss, and 7 ticks on the whip. Adam wins by a triple, 2 stolen bases, and a walk by a pitcher. They tied in walks by a hitter, wins, and saves. For Josh on his bench this week, he goes 11 for 47. That's a 234 batting average with 4 runs, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 7 RBIs that would have won the category, a steal, 5 walks that would have won the category, and 11 strikeouts that would have lost him that category. Christian Walker was an interesting piece he needed to get into the lineup here this week, right?
Yeah, it was on Tuesday, but it's tough. I mean, Altuve went 0 for 4. Like, so I guess you can move Brandon Lau into second base and put Walker in, but you're not benching Jose Altuve, like
Right.
especially in Sacramento. So yeah, it's tough. I mean, maybe turn Carlos Stanton, but he had a 2 for 4. So yeah, it's tough to get that in.
Yep. His moves this week, he used all 10 of them. Addison Barger off of waivers, a 2 for 5 with a walk-off home run. Jonathan Loizaga, a 2-inning relief appearance and a loss in extra innings. Pierce Johnson, a clean relief appearance. Eric Fetty, a 5-inning start with 1 earned run against the Chicago White Sox, no decision. Max Scherzer, he added off the IL, very nice. Mike
Yeah, he,
Burrows.
he he's starting tomorrow.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike Burrows, a 4 2/3 loss against Texas with a 7.71 ERA. Ryan Zefferjohn was a waste. He did not pitch. Abraham Toro 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Luis Rengifo 1 for 5 with a strikeout and an error. And Luis Torrens 0 for 3. Andy Pages is the most valuable hitter this week for Josh. It's a 400 with a 429, 6 runs, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 6 RBIs, and 6 strikeouts. I talked to him about this guy. The price wasn't right. It looks like it's going to be staying on Josh's team all year because this dude is tearing the cover off the ball.
Yeah, I mean he's his center fielder right now. And I don't see him moving off of this guy anytime soon.
No. Tyler Stevenson is the least valuable hitter this week. He hit 067 with a 176, 2 runs, an RBI, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Shout out to Jose Altuve, who had 208, but he did have 6 walks and 2 homers.
And 2 errors, though.
Yeah, 2 errors is not great.
Yeah.
The Cy Young goes to Brian Woo!
Woohoo!
7 innings and a win, 6 strikeouts, nothing earned, and an 043 on the whip. The Cy Young goes to Ryan Presley, who was terrible in his relief appearance. For Adam on his bench this week, he was 14 for 43. That is a 326 batting average with 10 runs that would have won the category, 6 doubles that would have won the category, 4 homers, 8 RBIs, 3 walks, 13 strikeouts, and an error. What a bench week this was.
Yeah, this is almost Ari-like.
And it looks like it's a lot of the guys that he just traded to Frank, with McLean and Rafaela kind of clogging up the bench, doing some things, and he doesn't really know who to play. So
Yeah.
it's good that he made a decision and is going with what he's got.
And he also cleared up first base, kind of, because he had the Olsen Josh Naylor thing going on, but now Josh Naylor is dealing with a shoulder problem, so red flag there.
Yeah, it would be really tragic if he lost both his first basemen in one fell swoop. That would be just absolutely tragic. After the start he got off to, and the fact that he's fought all the way back to 500 at this point, like,
yeah,
it's disappointing.
And considering he drafted from the hockey game, right? So like, yeah, like it just keep on fighting at him, but this is great.
Yeah. His moves this week, he used 8 of them. Ramon Laureano, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a strikeout. Matthew Liberatore, 6-inning win, 2 earned runs against the White Sox. Mitchell Parker, a 6-inning loss with 1 earned run against Colorado. Jeffrey Springs, 7 1/3, a win, a 123 and an 055 against Cleveland. Ryan McMahon, 1 for 5 with a solo home run and 4 strikeouts. So what a Ryan McMahon line.
Yeah, I mean, so it's a golden sombrero. Like, so what happens? Is that still considered a golden sombrero, right? Even yeah, but like a golden sombrero and a home run.
I don't know if that guy's even worth rostering at this point. He might get traded too.
He could. He's just so inconsistent, and I don't even think it's the home road thing. It's just like whenever he feels like hitting, he'll hit, and then he'll go on a nap for a while.
Yeah. I wonder if it's like he needs to be on a team that's competing.
Maybe. Like a team that's actually like, the high energy, like
winning games.
Yeah, even like I don't know, like the Reds or something like that. Like, and they're needing a third baseman.
Anyway, Jose Trevino, 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. Gary Sanchez, 1 for 3, and Nick Fortes, 1 for 4 with a run, a double, and a strikeout. Adam's looking for a catcher.
Yeah, so he lost Shea Langeliers, who's on his way back, and then he grabbed Ivan Herrera, who I dropped, and he's off. He's on the IL now. He's gonna be gone for a while. So yeah, he's kind of playing this catcher roulette, but he should be getting Langeliers back any day now. So hopefully that'll put a stop to that.
All right. The MVP this week goes to Junior Caminero, 478 with a 520 on base percentage, 5 runs, a double, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and an error. The least valuable hitter goes to Luis Robert, 095 with a 136, a run, a homer, 3 RBIs, a steal, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. This guy is ruining his trade value for the Chicago White Sox by the day.
Yeah, he went deep today, but I mean, like that's his 8th home run of the year. He's batting 184. Like, yeah, he's Billy Hamilton.
Hmm. Yeah, he's got 22 stolen bases.
Yeah,
Congratulations, buddy.
that's it.
The Cy Young goes to Jeffrey Springs in that start against Cleveland, and the Cy Young goes to Cole Henry. This poor guy, his infinite WHIP and ERA. He gave up 2 home runs and a walk in his 3 batters that he faced across his relief appearance.
Yeah, the 3 batter minimum. Well, he didn't get any of them out.
Nope, nope. I think Josh is about as safe as anybody else at this point, man, but his schedule is looking very interesting going forward. He's got Henry, and then he's got Mike Sherman, you, and Ari and Levy. So he's got an opportunity here to do some damage and put some distance between himself and the pack.
Yeah, and look, not for nothing, but after Levy, he's got Ben. That's gonna be a fun matchup. It'd be interesting to see where they are in the standings at that point. Because we could be looking at maybe a 1-2 matchup right there.
It could be. It could be, and that could be really interesting for seeding if they happen to bump each other out or move each other down at some point.
Yep, yep.
Be very, very interesting to see what happens. As for Adam, I think Adam's really going to have to buckle down here. He's got the other half of this Haber gauntlet that happens. So he's got Mike this week, then Frank, Jimmy, Cody, and myself. This is his season right here.
It really is. It really is. And look, hopefully Josh Naylor is all right, and like this first base issue is not going to be a problem. But if it becomes a problem, and he just traded Matt Olson, he's got Ernie Clement holding that first base right now. So that's a problem.
That's gross. Ernie Clement.
Yeah.
All right, man. The internet's holding. Let's
All
move on to
right.
the next matchup. Let's
Do
my
it.
matchup with Mike Haber. What a fun matchup this was until Sunday. It was fun until Sunday.
Yep.
On Sunday, Mike untied errors. I took one from I think it was Mookie Betts, and he flipped innings, strikeouts, ERA, and WHIP. I couldn't stop him from picking up 2 starters and going with 4 on the day, and all 4 of them were good.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And this is his strategy. This is what he does. Like
Mhm.
he sees the opportunity, he takes it, and it works. I mean, look, yes, he lost the matchup, but I think this is a win for both of you at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I get the win so that if we play in the playoffs, I'll have the tiebreaker. But at the end of the day, he certainly saved himself. It was 16-4 going in, 12-9 coming out.
Yeah.
Close categories. I won by 2 doubles, a triple, 3 stolen bases, 2 wins, and a loss. Mike wins by an error, 2 saves, a home run given up by a pitcher, and a strikeout by a pitcher. We did not tie in anything. For me on my bench this week, I go 5 for 24. That's a 208 batting average, 4 runs, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. None of it plays. Fantastic.
Well,
I used all 10 moves this week. Kyle Leahy was terrible in his relief appearance. Jose Buto, a clean relief appearance. Steven Matz was terrible in his relief appearance. John King gave me 2 terrible relief appearances.
so all
Spencer,
these Cardinals against the White Sox didn't really work.
it did not pay off. It did not pay off at all. Spencer Turnbull was bad in his start against the White Sox, 2 innings, 4 earned, and the loss. Ryan Thompson, clean relief appearance. Jack Dreyer, clean relief appearance. TJ McFarland, clean relief appearance. Luis Ortiz, 6 innings, a win, 10 strikeouts, nothing earned against the Athletics. And John Schreiber, who threw 3 pitches, gave up a walk-off fielder's choice. So I got the relief appearance and nothing else.
Nothing else. Yeah, that's how you do it. Like the Royals are sad, but who cares?
Yeah. My MVP this week goes to Ronald Acuna Jr. He's been absolutely fantastic since coming off the IL. 421 with a 593 this week. 11 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 2 RBIs, a steal, 8 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter goes to his teammate Michael Harris II. 083 with an 083, a double, an RBI, a steal, and 4 strikeouts.
How bad? Like I've been watching these games against the Braves. I'm like, I wish Michael Harris could just bat all the time because
Mhm.
he's terrible. And then the one time that like they had him on the ropes and then they hit him and to load the bases. I'm like, you could have this is an easy out.
Yep.
It was so frustrating.
Yep. He's incredibly frustrating to own, incredibly frustrating to watch. He's
Yeah.
annoying. I will never own him again. But I'm certainly not like dropping him, and I'm not altering
No,
the team like this. So I
no,
just
of
gotta
course
hope
not.
he picks it up. That's all I
Yep.
can do.
Yeah.
The Cy Young this week goes to Logan Webb. He has been the rock of this rotation all season long. 7 innings, a win, 9 strikeouts, a 1.29 and a 1. The Cy Young goes to John King without question. He was absolutely abysmal. 2 relief appearances. He got 2 outs, walked a guy, struck a guy out, had a 40.50 ERA and a 7.50 whip. Ew.
Yeah. But you know what though? The day you dropped him, he was good.
Of course he was. It was his third day in a row.
Yeah. Yeah. He pitched 3 days in a row, and the third day was good.
Anyway, for Mike on his bench, he went 1 for 28 because, of course, he did. It's an 0.36 batting average, a run, a double, a walk, 12 strikeouts, and an error that would have lost him the category if he got it in.
I mean, does it get any better than that on the bench? Like the only thing that plays, you would have lost the error. Like
Exactly. All right, his 6 ads this week: Tomoyuki Sugano, 3 2/3 and a no decision against the Yankees with a 7.26 and a 2.73 WHIP. Keegan Aiken for a clean relief appearance. Jose Soriano, 6 2/3, a win, 10 strikeouts, 1 earned run against Houston. Mitch Spence was bad against Cleveland on the other side of that Luis Ortiz start. I picked Ortiz up about a half hour before game time. Was like, you know what? No, I don't believe Mitch Spence is going to be good. He wasn't.
It wasn't, and Ortiz
The
was.
re- yeah, the rest of the guys were. Miles Michaelis, 5 innings, a loss, but only 2 earned runs, a 3.30 and a 1 across against Cincinnati. And Randy Vasquez, a 7 inning no decision with 2 earned runs against Kansas City.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I saw that start happening like on Monday. Like I was looking at who was playing Sunday night, and I was like, it's gonna be Vasquez against the Royals. That seems juicy. But then he got rocked against the Dodgers earlier in the week, and I was like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna touch him. But it was a good start.
It was a good start. And you know what? I give Mike a ton of credit for picking those dudes up and just throwing it against the wall because neither one of us pitched well. We pitched
No.
like dog shit all week.
So what's the worst that can happen?
Exactly. His MVP this week goes to Bobby Witt Jr., 375 with a 423 on base percentage, 6 runs, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts.
Nice bounce
He,
back from last week.
yeah, I'll say so. His least valuable hitter goes to Austin Wells, 167 with a 200 on base with an RBI, 6 strikeouts, and an error. Not a great week. And is he even hitting that well on the season?
He's at 220 with 11 home runs and 44 RBIs.
Okay, I guess that's serviceable enough in this deep a league that he could be a starting catcher.
Yeah, I mean, this was his 14th round pick, so it's not a high investment, but I think he's hoping for more.
I think so too. His Cy Young goes to Jose Soriano. We talked about him, and his Cy Yuck goes to holy shit, Jack Flaherty.
Terrible.
He was a mess. 2 1/3, a loss, a bomb, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, a 30.86 and a 3.86. That
Yeah,
start came against the Tampa Bay Rays.
it's eight runs on 6 hits.
That is terrible.
And not for nothing, he was bad against the Reds in his previous start too. He had been turning around. He had 3 straight wins before that, but yeah, he's been all over the place.
Mhm. Mike has lost his last 2 matchups to me and to Cody after taking a 14-6 win over Jimmy. He's got Adam, Henry, Mike Sherman, you, and then Ari and Levy. So this is a nice little spot where he can keep himself afloat and get things right. He should be able to coast to the playoffs, but he's got to turn this thing around, losing the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. I don't think there's panic yet,
No.
but there's certainly just a little bit of concern of okay, what do I need to do to shore up this team? I don't know if there's a trade somewhere, but like he's got the pieces. It's and Brandon Woodruff is coming back. It looks like now again. So that'll be a nice boost for him.
Mhm.
Um, he needs Pete Alonso to turn it back on.
Yes, I agree. He really needs that polar bear to heat back up. I would really appreciate that, and so would our Metsies.
Yes, agreed.
As for me, man, I got Frank this week, and then Jimmy, Cody, and Costas. So we'll see how well I do over the next month. But this was my first win in a month, so I kind of coasted downhill a little bit here over the last month. I think I went, what is that, 3, 2, 5, and
Yeah, but I mean, that was the gauntlet,
800?
right? It was Ben, Bobby, Lebo, and then the Habers. Like,
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
went through it, and Frank, Jimmy, and Cody are kind of the tail end of that gauntlet, and then I mean, it's Costas and Adam and Henry and Sherman, me, Ari, like, so like there's definitely room here.
yeah. I would think so. I feel pretty good about my chances this year. I don't know about my chances of winning a championship because I don't really have the bullpen that I want, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
Holy shit, man. We made it through three. Let's keep going.
do it.
All right. It's Henry and Brian Lebo here locking up this week in what I think was the matchup of the week. And it might be the matchup of the year.
Yeah. When I was talking with Ben, like this, like he wasn't even talking about our matchup. This was the matchup he was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, on Sunday, Lebo flipped runs and untied walks. Henry flipped innings, wins, and relief appearances. It was 11-9 Lebo going in. It's 11-10 Henry coming out.
I mean, just
What a finish. What a
yeah,
finish.
yeah.
Close categories this week. Henry wins by 4 doubles, 3 stolen bases, 4 strikeouts by a hitter, an error, 2/3 of an inning pitched, a win, a loss, and 2 relief appearances. Lebo wins by a run, a triple, 2 walks, 4 ticks on the on base percentage, and 6 ticks on the whip. They did not tie in anything.
I mean, between the two of them, like every category was close except for like home runs.
Yeah. I mean, each of them put up 40 RBIs. That's enough to win most weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an absolute crazy week for these guys.
No doubt. No doubt. For Henry on his bench this week, he goes 8 for 27. That's a 296 batting average with 7 runs that would have won the category. A double, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, 2 walks to tie the category, and 5 strikeouts that would have lost him the category. There was a Geraldo Perdomo homer on the bench, a Trent Grisham homer on the bench. There were a couple of opportunities to get some of those runs in there.
Yeah, the Grisham one. I mean that Springer was 0 for 3. I guess just a matter of matchups for the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And the Yankees had been cold, so I don't
yeah,
blame them for benching the Yankee, right?
yeah, exactly.
10 ads used this week for Henry. Bennett Souza for a clean 2 inning relief appearance. Tyler Heineman 1 for 3 with a run and an RBI. Eric Orzi for a bad relief appearance. Kiter Montero for that 5 inning relief appearance that we see him use here recently.
Yep,
Good
every
job
time.
going back to that well, Henry. Freddie Fermin 0 for 3 with a walk. Bennett Souza again for a clean relief appearance and a save. Hunter Strickland for a loss in relief. Austin Wins 0 for 4. Bailey Falter 5 1/3, a win, 5 walks, a strikeout, 3 earned, a 506 and a 206 against Texas off of waivers.
This is my problem with the wins category. How does this guy deserve a win? He walked 5, struck out 1, gave up 3 earned runs, and walked away with a win.
Yeah.
Like
Hey,
this,
dude,
stupid.
Zach Gallen gave up 7 earned runs against the Rockies and walked away with a win.
Yeah, it's just, and there's a few instances of this week or around the league where guys got losses who deserved wins and guys who got wins and deserved losses. It's just, yeah,
Mhm.
I hate those categories.
Yeah. Henry finished out his week adding Kybert Ruiz 0 for 5. Christian Yelich is the MVP this week for Henry, and he went 478 with a 500 on base percentage, 2 runs, 4 doubles, 11 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter is Perdomo or Springer. Springer hit 091 with a 167, as did Perdomo. Again, Perdomo had a home run on the bench. Springer was bad in the lineup. They're both kind of questionable this week.
Yeah, I mean, he has, so you have Perdomo and Correa, you have Springer and Grisham.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a balancing act.
No doubt. No doubt. The Cy Young this week goes to Chris Bassett, who was stellar. 12 innings, 12 strikeouts, 2 walks, a 3 ERA, and an 0.92. He's been good this year.
He has. He's just been really steady, really solid. I mean, 361, but he had like one blow up against the Rays a few weeks ago, but otherwise he's been really good.
Mm-hmm. And Hunter Strickland has not been very good. 2 innings, 2 losses, a homer, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, a 1350 and a 350 across his 2 relief appearances. He got into 2 games and he lost them both. Thanks so much for that.
Yeah, I mean, and this guy has, but he's been good actually. He has a sub 2 ERA on the year, but it's just a bad week.
Yeah. For Lebo on his bench this week, he goes 14 for 41. That is a 341 batting average, 10 runs, 3 doubles, 3 homers, 11 RBIs, a steal, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, and an error, and none of it plays.
With all these close categories and all those categories on the bench, none of it plays.
None of it plays. That's
Incredible.
absolutely ridiculous. 10 moves for him as well this week. He goes Lucas Giolito, 6 innings, a win, 10 strikeouts, nothing earned in Seattle.
Yeah, of course, because he's not on my team.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I own the guy. He shits the bed. He goes to Lebo. He twirls a gem.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Andrew Kittredge, a horrible relief appearance in the loss. Owen White, 2 1/3 in a relief appearance. Jojo Romero, a win in relief appearance. That was the friggin' Cardinals reliever I needed to pick up. That one.
But the Cardinal fan knows.
Tyler Gilbert, a clean relief appearance. Dednell Nunez, a clean relief appearance. Brady Singer, 6 inning loss, 7 strikeouts, only 1 earned against St. Louis.
Why is that a loss?
Because the other team scored 1 and his team did not score any, I would imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
Lake Backer for a clean 2-inning relief appearance. Jonathan Loizaga did not pitch, and neither did Alan Rangel. I don't even know who that guy is.
I think Lebo just makes up guys and says, I'm going to add them.
Yeah. He just finds the creative player from MLB The Show.
Yeah, exactly.
His MVP this week is Eugenio Suarez, 440 with a 464 on base. 5 runs, 2 doubles, 4 homers, 10 RBIs, and 6 strikeouts. And he's day to day. What's going on with him?
Yeah, so he got hit in the hand too, just like Corbin Carroll did. They lost Carroll, Suarez, and Naylor all within like a day.
That sucks.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah, he's gonna undergo an MRI. Don't expect injury to result in an IL stint, but you know what? They said the same thing about Corbin Carroll, so I don't believe any of that shit.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I wouldn't believe any of that either if I was sitting with one of these players. I mean, look at Yordan Alvarez.
Right. And I look at Yordan Alvarez and I think of Kyle Tucker last year.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was just a bruised shin and it was a fractured something. So, like, Yordan Alvarez is probably sitting there with a fractured hand too.
Yeah. The least valuable hitter this week is Jacob Wilson, a 160 with a 276, a run, a homer, 2 RBIs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. This kid's been pretty damn good for him.
Yeah, I think we're looking at a rookie of the year right there.
Yeah.
349, 9 home runs, and 40 RBIs. Yeah.
And 40 runs scored. He's doing some pretty nice things out there.
Yep.
The Cy Young is Lucas Giolito. We talked about him. The Cy Yuck goes to Nick Martinez, who was absolutely dreadful this week and is off the team.
He is off the team now. Yep.
Wow. 2 2/3, a loss, 3 homers, a walk, 4 strikeouts, a 23-63, and a 3. Yikes.
Yeah.
Rage drop.
they have taken him out of the rotation, and now he's just a reliever. Um, he's been not great.
Another SP eligible reliever. Get him into the rotation, boys.
Yep.
These guys are fighting their asses off for this playoff spot, man. Henry has sort of slipped down a little bit recently, having lost 2 of his last 3. But this win gets him right, and he's got the Habers right now.
Yeah, this is Havers, Frank, and Jimmy, and Cody, and you. Like this is it. This is it for Henry right here.
Yeah, he needs to put together a good run here to finish up the season before he gets toward the back end of the schedule.
Yeah.
As for Lebo, he's got Mike Sherman and he's got you, and then he's got Costa. I'm sorry, he's got Ari and Levy. So this is the soft underbelly right now. We'll
Right.
see if he can put some ground in and move himself up the standings. But he's lost his last 2.
Yeah, he has. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. These two guys, yeah, they're right there in the mix of all of us. I feel it's like the Royal Rumble. Who's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be the last man standing?
No doubt, no doubt. All right, let's move on to the next matchup here. We're going to talk about Cody versus Frank. Cody and Frank had quite a battle this week. It ends 11-7 in Cody's favor. Frank told me that he's disappointed, but that he lost, but he's glad it wasn't a complete blowout like it was on Sunday. He was looking at a 14-4 at one point.
Yeah.
So on Sunday, Frank tied wins. Cody flipped batting average, ERA, and untied RBIs. So it was 9-9 going in, ends up 11-7 coming out. Close categories this week. Cody wins by a double, a triple, an RBI, 5 ticks on the batting average, 3 innings pitched, and 3 losses. Frank wins by a run, 3 home runs, 3 walks by a pitcher, and a relief appearance. They tied in errors, wins, and saves.
Yeah, I mean, this could have gone any way, either way. This is so close, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Frank's right to be content with the 11-7 result. I mean, it didn't really kill him in the standings. He's still right in the mix of it. Um, yeah, I wouldn't be too worried.
No, not at all. For Cody on his bench this week, he goes 3 for 14. That is a 214 batting average with 2 runs that would have won the category, a double, an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout. The 2 runs, one of them came from Willie Abreu on Friday with Jake Myers 0 for 2 in center field. The other one comes on Sunday, so you have to be perfect to get these 2 in.
Yeah. I mean, if we want to be, nitty gritty, the one on Sunday, what was it? Cam Smith went 1 for 4 with a run and a walk. Um, you know, uh, Jose Ramirez went 1 for 4. You're not doing that,
Right.
I guess Dane Myers maybe, but yeah, it's gotta be perfect.
Yeah, he would have had to be perfect to win it. And at the end of the day, he won the week, keeps himself in the playoff hunt and in the playoff standings right now.
Yep. Yep.
He used 10 ads this week. He started off with Jake Irvin, 6 inning, no decision with 3 earned runs against Colorado. Dane Myers, who got hit by a pitch and left the game with an elbow contusion. He added Pablo Lopez, who's on the IL probably until late August with this
Yeah,
lat
I mean, I
strain.
guess
So,
if you have the room for it, it's a
yeah,
good keep. He does have Michael King and Jordan Alvarez sitting in his IL spots, so hopefully he gets some of these guys back.
hopefully. He added Cam Smith, 3 for 4 with 2 runs, a double, an RBI, and a walk. Emmett Sheehan it's actually Emmett Sheehan. I learned that this week, that it's Emmett Sheehan, not Emmett Sheehan.
Get it right.
He was benched and then optioned back to AAA and then dropped. So, whatever.
I guess that's a waste.
I guess so. Trevor Williams, 5 1/3, a walk, 6 strikeouts, 3 earned runs against Colorado. Grant Holmes, 5 2/3, 5 strikeouts and 5 walks at Miami, but nothing earned. And he got the win. Jeremiah Estrada off of waivers for a clean relief appearance. Adrian Hauser for a good start against Toronto. And Zach Littell for a good start against Detroit. The MVP this week is the big dumper. He is absolutely tearing the cover off the ball again. 417 with a 481 on base, 10 runs, 2 doubles, 5 homers, 12 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. He's having the best season from a catcher probably ever.
Right? I know, Mike Piazza, Carlton Fisk, Johnny Bench, but we've never seen anything like this. 9 steals from this guy. Like, I think, like, puts the cherry on the top, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
we're
Pudge
talking about 20.
Rodriguez had a really nice season one year.
Yeah, Salvador Perez has the most home runs by a catcher in a single season. Raleigh's
Okay.
gonna blow past that.
Yeah, could he be the first 50 homer catcher?
I think if he continues on this stretch, I think he can.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
50 home runs, 20 stolen bases just from a catcher.
He could push Aaron Judge for MVP, that's for sure.
I absolutely think he could.
Yeah. The least valuable hitter goes to Wyatt Langford this week. 250 with a 294, 2 runs, 2 doubles, an RBI, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Cody hit pretty damn well. A 279. He hit 29 RBIs, enough to win. 11 doubles, enough to win. A triple, enough to win by 1. All 3 of those, he's winning by 1.
And the 336 on base is good enough. It just wasn't good enough against a 349, but
Right.
still strong.
Mm-hmm. The Cy Young this week goes to Jacob deGrom, who has been pretty damn good in Texas this year, despite the poor record that they're showing at this point.
Yeah.
6 innings, a win, 7 strikeouts, 3 and a 1. Who was that start against?
That was against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's a solid start, and he looks like he's going against Baltimore tomorrow.
Yeah, like he is looking like vintage Jacob deGrom right now.
Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Shane Smith, 4 1/3, a loss, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, a 1038, a 208. It was enough to win the innings category, though, so that's something to hang your hat on. I guess.
Yeah, he did. He did win it by 3, so that was useful.
Mm-hmm. For Frank on his bench this week, he goes 8 for 20. That's a 400 batting average, with 4 runs, a double that would have tied the category, a homer, an RBI that would have tied the category, and 2 walks. I was Xander Bogaerts. He just benched Xander Bogaerts, and Bogaerts was really hot this week.
Yeah. That was that Thursday. Bogaerts went 4 for 4 with a homer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Jung-Hoo Lee was 0 for 2 in the utility spot. Like, there's your spot.
Same thing on Friday. Bogaerts went 3 for 4, and Lee went 0 for 4.
Mm-hmm. 10 ads used this week. Started with Jerks and Profar. He's eligible to return on the 2nd of July. Frank's playing down a couple of people right now, and carrying Jerks and Profar is pretty questionable, but I understand the thought process here. You want to get this guy when he comes back and hits second in that Braves lineup.
Yeah, I talked to him today about it, and he is absolutely sticking to his guns. He wants Profar, and it's on base, hitting behind Ronald Acuna in front of Riley and Olsen. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and now he traded for Matt Olson, so I don't blame him for wanting to get in front of that guy.
Yep.
He added Chad Patrick, 5 innings, a loss, a homer, 4 earned runs, a 720 and a 160 against Chicago Cubs. Verlander, 4 2/3, a loss, 4 earned runs against Cleveland. Didier Fuentes, 5 innings, a loss, a 720 and a 140 against Miami. Brian Bayo, 6 innings and a loss, 2 homers, a 150 and an 083 against San Francisco. Bryce Elder, 5 1/3, a loss, a homer, a walk, 4 strikeouts, 5 earned runs against Miami. Slade Ciccone, 7 innings, a win, a walk, and 3 strikeouts, nothing earned against the Athletics. Antonio Senzatella, 5 1/3, a win against Arizona. Kobe Allard, who did not pitch, and Steven Wilson, who did not pitch.
I told Frank that I give his testicular fortitude a lot of credit for picking up Antonio Senzatella and throwing him in Colorado against the Diamondbacks, and it worked.
And it worked. It was a good one on Sunday.
Yeah. I wouldn't have done that.
His MVP this week is Ian Happ. 250 with a 348 on base, 5 runs, 4 homers, 7 RBIs, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter goes to Jung-Hoo Lee. 056 with a 150 on base, 2 runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. The Cy Young goes to Chris Sale before he got hurt. He went 8 2/3, a win, a walk, 7 strikeouts, nothing earned in an 0.69, and he's one of the guys that he's carrying on the IL. It's him, Yimi Garcia, Luis Heel, and then he's got Alex Bregman and Jurickson Profar, who's suspended. It's 5 guys.
Yeah, yeah, and Sale, it could be a while.
Yeah, it could be the rest of the summer. Like he could come back in late August.
Yeah, and at that point, they might make him like a reliever or something.
Maybe. Kevin Gossman is the Cy Yuck, 4 1/3, a loss, 2 homers, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, a 14.54 and a 2.31. He's had a rough go of it here lately.
Yeah, yeah. This is really, the start against Minnesota was okay, but these other starts against the Athletics and the Phillies and Diamondbacks, these were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
He's been inconsistent. He's kind of been all over the place. 4.60 ERA over 86 innings, 84 strikeouts is good, but yeah, we might be seeing the end of Kevin Gausman.
Maybe. Frank really answered the bell in 2 previous weeks before this loss, 15-5 against Costas and Jimmy. He went 30-10. That is absolutely ridiculous to get himself right back in the middle of this hunt. This loss could have hurt him a lot more. He certainly mitigated a bad loss, and I've got him this week, so I look forward to seeing what he's got in store for me this week.
Yeah, but once he's past you, he's got Adam, Henry, Sherman, me, and Ari and Levy. So he just has to get through you, and there's room here for him to, get himself right and climb back up the standings.
No doubt. Absolutely true. And as for Cody, I mean, he's rocking and rolling lately. He's won his last 3 and 4 of his last 5 with a tie to Brian Lebo as the 5th option here. So he's really on a roll. Look out for this guy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he hasn't his last loss came against Ben, and that was just 10-8. Like, so he's rolling. I think I can't see how he falls out of the playoff hunt unless he just completely falls apart.
Yeah, he's got Jimmy, he's got Costas, he's got me, and then he's got Adam. So that's going to be an interesting month here. I think he's certainly able to get at least 2 of those, I would hope.
I would think so.
Yeah. All right, man, we are pushing through here. Let's move on to Sherman versus Bobby as we get closer and closer to the end. We're so excited because we've done this 3 damn times.
This is golden.
Yes. It finishes 10-10 in a tie. I'm sure these guys would have liked to have something better, but it was 10-10 going in, 10-10 coming out after Bobby flipped. Sherman committed 2 errors to give Bobby that category, but Sherman also flipped strikeouts by a pitcher. So wishy-washy, you're done.
Yeah, it's like same score, but things happen. But yeah, it was just fun.
Yeah.
This was a fun one.
This was a fun one. For close categories this week, Sherman wins by a triple, 2 stolen bases, 4 2/3, and 4 strikeouts by a pitcher. Bobby wins by 4 home runs, an error, and 3 saves. They tied in wins. For Sherman on his bench, he goes 5 for 41. That's a 122 batting average. 6 runs, 2 doubles, nothing on the homers or RBIs, a stolen base, 10 strikeouts, and an error. None of it plays.
I mean, no home runs, no RBIs, no walks. I don't know if I've ever seen that on a bench with 41 at bats.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
5 ads used this week. He went for Tyler Phillips and he benched a clean relief appearance. Scott Barlow, and he benched a relief win.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what happened there. He added him on Monday and never put him in the lineup.
That's pretty odd.
Yeah.
Cade Gibson for a clean relief appearance. I don't know what team Cade Gibson plays for.
He does play for the Miami Marlins, which might as well be a AAA team. So he plays for the AAA Miami Marlins.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
He added Jose Quintana for a 6-inning shutout win against the Minnesota Twins, and added Mike Soroka in a 5 1/3 no decision, 10 strikeouts against the Dodgers. That was ballsy.
Yeah, right. And also, it mostly worked.
Yeah, for the most part. The MVP this week goes to Bo Bichette, 407 with a 429 on base percentage, 5 runs, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 7 RBIs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. I wonder if he's going to get traded because the Blue Jays are in the wild card hunt.
Yeah, I mean, his name always surfaces. I think he stays put. I think as long as they're still in the hunt, I think he has to stay put.
He's having a very nice bounce back season, hitting 279.
Yeah, yeah, 11 home runs, 48 RBIs. He's just having a real nice, solid season.
Yeah. His teammate Andres Jimenez is going to be the least valuable hitter this week. He did not record a hit and a 125 on base percentage with 2 strikeouts.
He's
Gross.
glove first. He's
He
known for
really is. Seth Lugo is the Cy Young this week. 12 and a third, a win, a walk, 16 strikeouts, a 146 and an 049. Lugo was the runner-up in the Cy Young last year. He's not pitched as well this year, but he's still doing quite well.
Yeah, he was banged up for a little bit, but he still has a sub-3 ERA over 83 innings. So I mean, that's certainly solid.
Yeah. Tyler Holton is the Cy Young this week. 2 and a third, a win, 2 homers, a strikeout, an 11.57 and a 2.14. How'd this guy get a win in his relief appearance?
Exactly. That's my point. Like I mean, he did get a win because he came in as a reliever, but like his bad start, they used him as an opener.
Oh,
That's what the Tigers are doing, right? Tyler Holton or Brant Herter, or they're throwing these guys as openers so that Kiter Montero can throw a 5 inning relief appearance. But Tyler Holton was just terrible against the Pirates, and that was the opener. So yeah.
gross. For Bobby on his bench this week, he goes 9 for 30. That's a 300 batting average. 8 runs, 4 doubles, 3 homers, a steal, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, and none of that plays.
I
This
mean,
is as clean a tie as you could get.
right? This is beautiful.
6 ads this week for Bobby. He went with Hunter Dobbins in a 4 inning, no decision, 4 earned runs against San Francisco. It's not good.
No.
Logan Allen was a waste. Landon Raup was good in his start against Boston, and Ryan Gusto was okay. Got the win, but gave up 5 earned in 6 innings against LA. Gross.
Yep. Doesn't get a win.
Kyle Hendricks, a 5 inning, no decision with 3 earned runs against Houston, and Joey Ortiz, 2 for 5 with a strikeout. His MVP this week goes to Nick Kurtz. Really?
Yeah, he went bunkers this week.
304 with a 360 on base, 6 runs, 2 doubles, 4 homers, 8 RBIs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and an error. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
Kyle Tucker was really good. And so was Bryson Stott. But Nick Kurtz, I had him for a bit. He's a power rookie for the A's, and he finally showed up this week.
All right. Let's hope he keeps it up. O'Neal Cruz is the least valuable hitter this week. 091 with a 125 on base, a run, an RBI, a stolen base, a walk, 10 strikeouts, and an error.
And apparently he was pulled out of today's game for lack of energy and effort.
Oh.
So that
So,
happened.
so that happened. That's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah. In,
All
in a
right.
game in a game in which they lost 9-3 to the Brewers. And he went 0 for 4 with a strikeout.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not playing hard in your losses, like why bother playing at all?
Right. Yeah. Go home.
The Cy Young this week goes to Garrett Crochet, 6 innings, a win, 8 strikeouts, a 150 and a 1, with a shout out to Landon Raup, who threw 6 shutout innings and 7 strikeouts. So that was a good stream as well. The Cy Young goes to Zach Eflin, 8 innings, 2 losses, 5 homers, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, a 14.63 and a 3.25. Holy shit, this guy was terrible.
Yeah.
He was
I mean,
atrocious.
against the Rays and the Yankees, like I get it, but he basically played in both Yankees ballparks, and he was terrible in them. But this guy's been terrible all year long. 5.46 ERA over 11 starts and 61 innings. He's not good. He's not good at all.
So for Bobby going forward, he's got an interesting schedule up ahead of him. I hope I'm not glitching out too much here.
A little bit, but we got you.
What's his
We got
schedule
you.
look like, Jason?
Bobby, so right now
Okay.
let's see.
What's his schedule looking like?
Yeah, Bobby got me this week, and then Ari Levy. So soft matchups there. But then comes Ben and Costas and Lebo. So before the real gauntlet comes at the end of the season. So these are the weeks coming up here that he's going to need to make some moves and climb up these standings. It's Bobby Russo. I don't think he's out of this. He's in the mix with all the rest of us, in the glump of the standings. But it's going to be interesting to see if he can, make some big push over the next few weeks before he goes into the gauntlet.
Yeah, four under 500 right now, and that's really where you want to be until the end here, because I really think that there might be a 500 team that is going to push for the playoffs. Like there are so many teams so close together this year that
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. I don't think we've seen it like this in a very very long time, if at all.
I mean, between like 13 and 7 is 5 games.
Yeah, yeah, and the playoff spot is 5 games, 5.5 ahead of that.
Right. Right.
So it's
So
10 from 6th to 13th.
and everybody from 8 to 8 below is below 500. So
Mhm.
yeah, this is gonna be a fun way to see how this falls out. I can't wait.
Gonna be crazy. Gonna be crazy. Let's talk about the blowout of the week this week. It is Jimmy Dunlap getting himself right in a 15-4 drubbing of Costas Paragas in a matchup that, honestly, Costas is lucky to get out of here with 4.
Yeah, I mean Sunday happened because before that it was 18-1.
It was 18-1 going in, and Costas tied wins, untied triples, flipped home runs by a hitter, and innings pitched to make this a respectable loss here.
I mean,
For
all that work just to come out with a 15-4.
right, right, and pretty much save your season, because a -17 would have absolutely blown him out of the water. At least here he's 5 back of the glom, so he
Right.
can get back into this thing if he puts together some wins. But he's going to have to do it in a hurry.
Yeah, -17, he would have been hanging out with Ari and Levy.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Close categories this week. Jimmy wins by 2 runs, an RBI, 2 walks, 3 errors, and 3 losses. Costas wins by a triple, 3 homers, an inning and 2/3, and a walk by a pitcher. And they tied in wins and saves. For Jimmy on his bench this week, he goes 6 for 30. That is a 200 batting average. 6 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 2 RBIs, 7 walks, and 7 strikeouts that would have lost him the category had he played them. Good job,
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Great job.
He used 8 moves this week. Braden Fisher, Kevin Kelly for a clean relief appearance. Brooks Lee, 1 for 4 with a run and 2 strikeouts. Justin Wilson, whatever the fuck his last name is. He was a waste. He didn't play. Zach Kelly for a clean relief appearance. Jacob Junis did not pitch. And Edward Cabrera for week 13.
I think you picked up Rob Z just to piss you off.
Yeah, Rob Z and Zach B. Those two can both go fuck off.
Oh, he comes up next week.
Oh, great. Great. Riley Green is the MVP this week for Jimmy. He went 478 with a 500 on base percentage, 7 runs, 3 doubles, 3 homers, 10 RBIs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Shout out to Jake Myers. Shout out to Luis Garcia. Shout out to a lot of dudes on this team.
Yeah, it was a good offensive week. I mean, Brian Reynolds, I don't know how much he actually played in the lineup, but he hit 750. It might have been just
Might have been a 3 for 4, but still.
Yeah, but even still, the days that he was on the bench, you played well. So, yeah.
Yeah. The only guy that didn't was Kyle. Not Kyle. It's not
Nope,
Kyle
not that guy.
Seager. It's Corey Seager. 095 with a 136 on base, 2-run home run, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. So he's been a mess this year, man.
Yeah, he hasn't really gotten going. 234, just 7 home runs and 16 RBIs.
16 RBIs.
Yeah.
We're halfway through the season.
I mean, I know he missed some time, but like this is not what you expect from Corey Seager.
Right. Ryan Pepio is going to be the Cy Young this week. 13 innings, 2 wins, a bomb, 4 walks, 18 strikeouts, a 138 and an 085. The Cy Yuck goes to Brandon Walter, wherever he is, off the team probably.
No,
No, he
he's still
sticks
there.
around. Sticks around. 2 starts, 6 innings, a loss, 2 homers, a walk, 6 strikeouts, a 1050, and a
That's actually
167.
That's actually one start.
That's one start?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, seven runs on 9 hits over
Ugh.
6 innings. They just let him stay out there and just
They
get
let
hits.
him wear it.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Didn't affect Jimmy too much, though.
No, he was fine.
He was fine. For Costas on his bench, he goes 1 for 13. That's an 076 batting average with a run, an RBI that would have tied the category, 5 walks that would have won the category, 4 strikeouts, and a win that would have won the category had he played it.
It was a relief win on Sunday from Eric Miller. He just had too many relievers and somebody had to sit and he benched the wrong guy.
And he's the guy who comes in and gets the win. Of course it is.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. He only used 4 moves this week, which is kind of surprising. Carlos Narvaez 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Kybert Ruiz 0 for 4. Mike Yastrzemski 2 for 3 with a walk. And Ryan Jeffers 0 for 2 with a walk. So he was looking for a catcher most of the week.
Yeah. Yeah. He was going back and forth between Jeffers and Ruiz and Narvaez. Can't find a catcher.
Yeah. His MVP this week goes to Yandy Diaz. 433 with a 485 on base, 6 runs, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. I love Yandy. I really do. He's not having a great year, but
he's having a good year. I mean, 282 is, in this day and age, that's a great batting average.
12 homers, he's on his way to 20 again.
Yeah. 45 RBIs, so that's 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gavin Lux is the least valuable hitter this week. 059 with a 111, a run, a homer, 4 RBIs, a walk, 5 strikeouts, and an error. Not great, but the 4 RBIs is nice. And the homer, I mean, it helped him win that category.
Yeah.
Turn my light on here because I was so dark in the shadows. His Cy Young this week goes to Logan Gilbert? ?
I mean, he pitched to almost 6 ERA, so
lost most of the pitching categories, but he did win innings and walks given up. So the innings do go to Logan Gilbert, who gave him 10. Brandon Pfaadt also gave him 10. So
Gilbert only walked 1, struck out 16.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
that's all right. The Cy Yuck goes to. It's not going to that guy. It's going to Reed Garrett. Gross. 2 relief appearances, an inning, a loss, a walk, a strikeout, a 45, and a 6. Reed Garrett's lost it right now.
Yeah. I mean, he was the guy that would come in to put out the fire, and now he's coming in and letting the fire get bigger. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. I'm done with Reed Garrett. I'm done with Oscar Brazabon. I'm done with Ryan Stanek. Like, give me somebody who can actually pitch.
Yeah. This win for Jimmy undoes the loss he took a week prior to Frank, 15-5. So he gets himself right back in the middle of this thing. Yes. He's certainly one of the glom teams here. But Costas is the one I'm concerned about because now he's the one who has to answer the bell. And he's right in the middle of this gauntlet. He's got Levy this week, but then it's Cody, Ben, myself, and Bobby.
Yeah. So even a get right against Levy, if he can do that, sets him up. But he's got to get through that. He's got to get at least 2 wins out of that stretch.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm concerned about him. I think his season is tipping on the razor's edge right now.
Yeah. It's not done. I hope he stays competitive and fights for a spot. I mean, we're only halfway through the season, so there's still time. He just has to make the right moves.
No doubt. All right, man, let's finish this thing up. We've gotten all the way to the end. Let's talk about Chris and Ari real quick before we get out of here. It ends a 10-9 in Chris's favor. Congratulations, Chris, on the win. On Sunday, Levy tied triples. Ari tied strikeouts by a batter when Chris took too many, and Ari flipped strikeouts by a pitcher. So it was 12-9 going in, 10-9 coming out. Levy wins by 4 homers and 3 stolen bases. Ari wins by 3 RBIs, an error, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. They tied in triples and strikeouts by a batter. For Chris on his bench this week, he goes 3 for 21. That's a 143 batting average, 4 runs, a homer, 2 RBIs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts that would have lost him the category, and an error. So congratulations getting that out of your lineup.
Yep.
He used all 10 ads. No surprise here.
Nope.
Ryan Gusto for a good start in Sacramento. Sean Dubin for a clean 2-inning relief appearance. Eric Lauer for a good start against Arizona. Romy Gonzalez 0 for 4. Adam Frazier 1 for 4 with a run. Jesus Sanchez 0 for 3. Colton Gordon 5 innings, 2 homers, 3 earned runs against the Athletics. Luis Angel Acuna, which was a waste. Mauricio Dubon was an 0 for 1. And Andre Palante, a 6-inning win, nothing earned against Cincinnati. His MVP this week goes to CJ Abrams.
Yeah,
Nice.
not Aaron Judge.
Not Aaron Judge. A 296 with a 424 on base, 8 runs, a double, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, 6 walks, 3 strikeouts, and an error. CJ Abrams absolutely tore it up this week.
Yeah, he filled it up. That he really did everything.
For the record, Judge did homer and hit 250 this week. So,
but he also struck out 10 times.
Yeah, it's 7 walks though. That's also very nice.
Yeah, so it's like good and bad. It's a very Ellie De La Cruz looking line.
Yeah. Austin Riley is the least valuable hitter this week, 125 with a 111, 2 RBIs, and 2 strikeouts. He doesn't play him every day either because he does have
Robbie Devers. Yeah. So it's, I mean, at the end of the day, I think you just play those two, and it becomes down to Volpe or Abrams at shortstop, and that's it.
Yeah, and I would play Abrams every day.
Yeah, and just maybe trade Volpe, find somebody who needs a shortstop.
Yeah. His Cy Young this week goes to Jose Barrios, 7 2/3 shutout innings and a win, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, and an 0.65. The Cy Young goes to Taj Bradley, who was terrible and has been for a while. An inning and a third, a 40-50, and a 5.25 whip. 2 homers and a walk in an inning and a third.
Yeah. 6 earned runs on 6 hits in 1 innings.
Ugh.
He was good today, though. He shut out the Royals, so there you go.
All right. For Ari on his bench, he went 15 for 72. That is a 208 batting average. 10 runs, 4 doubles, 5 homers that would have won the category, 10 RBIs, a steal, 9 walks that would have won the category, and 19 strikeouts that would have lost him that category had he gotten them in. He made 1 ad. 1 ad. He added Joey Bart, 1 for 4 with 2 runs and a walk.
On Sunday.
On Sunday. He's made 2 this week.
Yeah. Double.
His MVP this week is Michael Garcia. 348 with a 400 on base, 4 runs, a double, a triple, a homer, 5 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. J-Rod is going to be the least valuable hitter, a 154 with a 214, 3 runs, a double, an RBI, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. J-Rod on the season, is he doing anything?
254, 11 homers, 39 RBIs, and 12 steals. I mean, it's okay. Not the superstar level that you expect from him.
No, I think you want him 30-30, and you're going to probably get 20-20.
Yeah, and the 254, I mean, even if that gets up to 260, that's like, you want 270 out of this guy at least.
Yeah, no doubt. The Cy Young goes to Aroldis Chapman. 3 innings, 6 strikeouts, 2 saves across 3 relief appearances, nothing earned, and no base runners allowed. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it was kind of by default because the rest of the pitching was not terrific.
Yeah, everyone else can be the Cy Young. Whether it's Jack Leiter is 9 2/3, 2 losses and an 8.38. JP Sears 8 1/3, 2 losses, 3 bombs and 8.64. I mean, this was awful.
Yeah, I mean, Shane Baz was bad. He gets a win, but 4 walks and 844. That's not a win. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You
Ari
know,
pitched to a 625 this week. Yikes.
yeah, yeah.
Yikes.
And when you carry, 10 pitchers or something like that, 8 pitchers, like they're gonna be bad.
There's going to be bad starts, and you're going to lose a lot on the bench as well when you're carrying that many hitters. It is what it is. This is the strategy. He's not going away from it.
Yeah.
It's not working, but
let's stick with it.
but stick with it. All right, man. Who's the manager of the week?
Oh man, the manager of the week. Look, I mean, because I'm close to it, I'm gonna give it to Ben for just absolutely shutting me out, and the Sunday just killed me. He did everything he needed to do. He pitched beautifully. He hit well. He just took me to school.
I'm going to give it to Jimmy Dunlap for his absolute drubbing of Costas Paragas. Even with the 3 category flip on Sunday, it's still a 15-4. It gets him right. We were questioning it. We said he was the one who was next to answer the bell. Well, now it's Costas. So he's the one who has to answer the bell next. And he made it so with this win. So good job, Jimmy. Congratulations, Benji, on your managers of the week.
And shout out to Henry on that. That great matchup with Brian Lebo. Both those guys deserve a shout out.
No doubt. Those guys played matchup of the year so far this year. So you've got a lot to top if you want that title. We've got it right there. Jason, thanks for being here, my friend.
We made it. We powered through, and we got through all of them. So kudos to us.
All right, man. We will get this thing uploaded for everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. I appreciate you getting through this with us. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Until next time, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. And it is always real fun in the bigs. We'll see you next time.